What's up, YouTube? So, today I wanted to talk about a topic that we all know and love: negative self talk. What is it? How does it affect me? And what do I do about it? So, first, I'm gonna start off with what it is. Negative self talk is something that I want to say, like, hey, say you go out there, you make a mistake, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, wow, I'm a piece of shit. Or, damn, like I royally fucked up. Or then you start thinking, hey, I fuck things up all the time. Or I constantly make mistakes. Then it turned into, like, what am I doing with myself? Like, I don't, like, is this really the person that I am I just somebody that messes things up for a living? And I want to be the person to tell you, no, you are not somebody that messes things up for a living. um so how negative self-talk affects you. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but personally, with my life, negative self-talk has affected me in ways of just basically sitting in my own shit. Like, it's an excuse for me to just say that I mess things up because that's who I am. I'm an evil person, or I do these bad things, or I make these mistakes because I'm no better. And the fact of the matter is, you're way better than that. And how do you work on negative self-talk to not give you the free pass to just do bad things? And I'm not saying just because you get out of negative self-talk doesn't mean that you're going to be a perfect person. It changes the way that you're going to go about it, or it changes the way that you fall on the floor, you get back up. You know what I mean? And the first thing that I want to say is, like I said, taking it back to my own negative self-talk, and specifically more when I was in my addiction. I would say that, even as bad as calling myself a sociopath, along the lines of being evil, or maybe I was just meant to be a fuck up, and that just put me in a mental position of just me telling myself, like, I'm doing drugs because I'm a drug addict. This is who I am. This is what I do. I lie to people because I am a liar. I'm a drug user, and other people don't understand me. I'm different. I'm I'm a special person that nobody understands, and that nobody can truly get to know. I always put up, these walls, these barriers in my negative self talk, to where, that voice of help, or the voice of people that legitimately wanted to let me know that I was worth more, that I could do more, I would tune those out because I was stuck in my negative self-talk. And I keep talking about it just because, like I said, it's something that I put myself through consistently. But now I know that, in my sobriety, today I am 107 days, you know, thank the Lord. And, now that I'm starting to get out of it, I'm starting to see a lot of the negative thinking that I've had before, that was really holding me back. Because, hidden within my negative self-talk was, like, a lot of fears. I was afraid to do good, or I was afraid to really reach for more for myself. And, you know, I guess the next step would be to talk about, like, okay, like, now that we hear a little bit about what self-talk is, now we can hear how it can affect you. What do we do about it? What do you do about, I don't know, just thinking, talking, and feeling negative? Well, the fact of the matter is, taking it back to, you fall down 8 times, you get up 9. And when you make a mistake, don't say, wow, I'm a fuck up, or wow, I'm a piece of shit, or wow, I don't know what I'm doing. You cannot know what you're doing. But turn your mistakes into a learning mode, or a learning experience. I had a great friend of mine tell me, you don't take any L's if all you take is lessons. And, with that, you kind of see that in your mistakes, it is a learning process. And the truth is, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. But if you continually work on, bettering yourself, or you continually work on, how can I do the situation better the next time, or how can I learn from this, is, like, the main thing that I can see that you can, take away from your mistakes. Like I said, taking it back to my own negative thinking back when I was in my drug use, I stayed there because I didn't think that I could function without drugs and alcohol. I didn't think that I could carry myself well. I told myself that I had anxiety. Um, I told myself that I did drugs to make me feel good so I could be a good person. And the truth is that I didn't need drugs to be a good person. And just saying it seems kind of obvious now, but you gotta understand, when I'm in my negative self-thinking, or these negative thoughts, I really didn't think I could. I was in a place where I thought that I just tolerated people, or that people just tolerated me. Everybody wanted something from me. I just wanted things from other people. And I was coming from just a really negative space, man. But now that I've did a lot of work on different ways of thinking, or more constructive ways that I can really build something off of, I'm come to understand, everybody says it, like, it's all love. And when you understand that everything is love, and everything we do is for love, like even me giving gas to somebody that I barely know, or me getting gas from somebody that I barely know, like, people, like, obviously they need help, but they don't just want something from you. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand there's people like that in the world, but if you help those people out and you let them know, like, hey, like, I'm here to lend a helping hand. I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm not here to just mentally masturbate all over you because it feels good for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, me doing this YouTube video, it feels good to to voice myself. It feels good to organize my thoughts and to put it in a form like I'm talking to somebody else, but the main thing that I just want to say is that, like, we're all here to help each other. And I'm hoping by me making this stuff that I really reach people that need the help, and that need to hear, like, hey, like, the world's not as bad as you think, or not everyone is going to take advantage of you, not everyone's going to break you, not everybody's here to put you down. And now that I can tell you that there's people in the world that aren't like that, you don't have to treat yourself like that. When it comes to your own thoughts and your mind, and when it comes to who you are as a person, the way I look at it is, obviously there's a lot of people that wish their parents could have done better. I mean, I know that I do. Granted, they did the best they could, but it's always popping up in my head, like, oh, with my kids I'm gonna do it this way, or with my kids, like, I'm gonna be more loving, I'm gonna be more empathetic, I'm gonna reach out more to them. And even with relationships and significant others, like, my darndest thing was that I would love other people more than I would love myself. I was always giving other people like good messages to them, or helping them pick themselves up, or giving them the words that I really felt they needed. But the fact of the matter is that if I just take that same love, if I take that same thought process, or I take that same same thinking and empathy that I have for other people, and just give it to myself, I can get so much farther. And remind myself, like, next time I close the door in somebody's face, open it again and say, you know what, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Or accepting that I do make mistakes, and you know what, I am young and kind of stupid, and there's so much that I have to go through, there's so much that I have to learn when it comes to what I'm doing with my life. The main number one thing I have to remind myself is not compare myself to people. And I have, like, a lot of people that I know that are going to school. There's a lot of people I know that are making growing money. There's a lot of people that I know that are out doing their own thing, and I want so bad to compare myself, but I can't steer away or look away from my growth and my progress by saying it's not good enough because of somebody else's. And it's like a daily thing that I have to remind myself when those negative thoughts creep in, like, oh, I'm a fuck up. Like, no, you're not a fuck up, you fucked up. but you're gonna learn from it. Or you're gonna move forward from this, and that these mistakes aren't who I am, they're just what I've done. And arguably you learn the most from your mistakes, man. Like me being a drug addict, I want so bad to tell myself, like, the reason you did all those things is because you're being selfish, and arguably I was. But another way to look at it too was I was exploring myself. I was understanding myself, and looking back, I can see all the reasons why I did something like that. But it was really because I was afraid to move forward. I used drugs to escape from my life and to escape from my emotions. And because there are times where I felt like everybody else was a robot. Like, why can't I? I might have been a little bit over emotional, and I frowned upon that on myself. And now in my sobriety, I'm kind of learning how to love the part of myself that does talk too much, that part of myself that does love too much, and that part of myself that's scared to have real relationships, and that's scared to have a real life. I was running away from like a good thing, man. And for the longest I couldn't understand why, but it was because I was so stuck in my negative thinking. I wanted to blame everybody else, because the last person I wanted to blame was myself. And once I started blaming myself and realizing that I'm the center of my problems, or I'm the center of my issues, that's one thing. But the second part is knowing that as the problem causer, you also need to be the problem solver and learn how to love yourself, man. You need to learn how to tell yourself, like you're your own parent telling a child, like in your mind, like you're your own parent telling yourself, like, hey, like, pick your head up, you're gonna be okay. Or hey, like I said, you made a mistake, you fell in the dirt, you got your nose all dirty, pick it up, get yourself clean. Find other ways to really take care and love yourself. And in that, you can start learning, like, hey, like, maybe I do need to start eating better, maybe I do need to start taking vitamins, maybe there's a deficiency in my life that I'm neglecting myself. There's parts of me that I'm not paying attention to because I'm too busy comparing myself to other people, or I'm too deep in making myself feel bad, or maybe even like feeling sorry for myself, that I just want to think like, oh, I'm gonna be bad to myself because I do bad things and I'm a bad person. And that's not the truth, man. There's so much stuff that you're capable of if you just allow yourself to have a clear head, to have a clear heart, and to be open. Like the ability to speak on your anxieties and be able to share your fears, and being able to really open up about who you are and what your beliefs are. Like, you'll come to find that it's respectable as hell. Like, it's so respectable to see somebody really take part in their emotions, and to share why these things bother them, or why they're upset, or why they're sad, or not think that it's stupid. It is. But it's just because you're still on your growth process, you're still on your your journey. Give yourself time to grow. Don't neglect those parts of you. Don't have negative thoughts that's really hindering who you are and where you're going. Take pride in the fact, like, you can be full of tears, like, oh, I'm a crybaby. It's like, hey, fool, I'm a fucking crybaby, yo. But just remind yourself that it's okay to be who you are. And just, I guess, to tie it all together is just, if you're thinking bad about yourself, understand that you're causing more problems than you need to. And those problems that you do have, just learn to love them. Learn to love who you are, and learn to take care of yourself. If you're having headaches and you feel like shit, dude, drink water. Look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm really in this bitch. Or hey, like, I'm still here. I'm still kicking, I'm still alive, I still got a lot of fight left in me, you know. And to be honest, like, looking back at my own personal growth, there are times where I'd have to lie to myself flat out. Flat out, I couldn't believe that I was a loving person. I couldn't believe that, you know, I was anything less than an asshole. I couldn't believe that, you know, I couldn't do it, or I couldn't bring any good into this world. But it really took me lying to myself, even when it was so hard to believe, like I couldn't, and to tell myself like, hey, you are a good person. Like, hey, you are loving. And you know, when you contradict those negative thoughts, like eventually you find a way out, man. There's light. There's light at the end of that tunnel. You just got to keep at it. And like I said, I'm happy because I'm 107 days into my own sobriety, and I've never felt better. In the past like 6 years, yeah, I've had some drug highs, yeah, I've had some really low lows, but I wouldn't trade the consistency of feeling like okay for anything. And you know, I owe it to the people around me. I owe it for, you know, the support that I've had. And it took me a long time to realize that all I really needed to do was reach out, but I needed to be honest. I needed to be honest with them. I needed to be honest with myself. And you know, that's when I really opened up a hole for the love to get in, and for you know, people's words or even my own to really make a difference in my life. And really, like I said, just find something that I can build off of and feel confident in, you know. But you know, if you're struggling to move forward, or you know, you feel like you're stuck in some way, like, all I gotta say is just take care of yourself. Take care. You know, show yourself that love. And you know, I'm not saying go out and take advantage of people because, you know, you're feeling bad, or lash out. I'm just saying open up and, you know, be honest with how you feel. Communicate, and you know, share with everybody who you are. And you know, we'll help each other figure out what the right thing to do is, or you know, where to go with our mistakes, or where to go with ourselves. We just got to be open and loving. Anyway, have a good one.